Welcome back, everybody, and happy Sunday to all of you guys. Let's go ahead and end the weekend and start the week off with something pretty positive and powerful. If you guys watched any of Charlie Kirk's memorial, I thought that was a really impressive and powerful display of how well liked and how significant and what kind of impact he had. It was really cool to see all those people come together for him. And, I will say, I think no matter where you stand on it, well, actually, it does matter where you stand on it. Um, there's something that's evident at play here. Charlie, when he was alive, did a lot to bring people closer to God, to bring people to into Christianity and things like that, which is um, needed now more than ever. But I will say, I think in his death, he has done more. He has brought more people to Jesus. And on top of that, he has exposed the evil that has been lying silently among us. Incredible. So that is a pretty powerful thing to watch. I didn't get to watch all of it, but it was pretty interesting. And of course, we saw. I'm not. Yeah. Do I make direct comparisons? It's already been made a couple of times. I'm not going to be like breaking news here or being like a really like thought provoking individual, but people have already made several comparisons about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the death of George Floyd, and then just how those two different types of deaths resulted in two very different types of responses. Um, Cities burned, assault on police officers, just overall a degradation of society after George Floyd died. And then with Charlie Kirk's death, we saw for the first time, we just saw a lot of people for the first time attending church. We saw candlelight vigils. We saw a very positive response. We, I believe, have the right to be angry. Um, there is a thing such as righteous anger. I mean, makes sense. And man, just thinking about the similarities between George Floyd and Charlie Kirk. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know how like superstitious all of you guys are or anything. I'm not really a superstitious person. I think maybe my wife is a little bit more than me, but like George Floyd, Charlie Kirk, both born on October 14th. Okay. George Floyd was born in 1973. Charlie Kirk was born 1993. I just like, wow, that's wild. And these are and George Floyd's been the one that's been selected as the comparison to. It's like crazy. A high pregnant woman beater comparing to somebody who actually practiced what he preached, and he preached a beautiful word. Well, if that's not freedom, I don't know what is. Anyway, I bring all that up to say the title of tonight's live stream and the discussion I want to have with all of you watching, and those of you that might be watching after the fact and watching down in the comment section, or down, you might be chatting down in the comment section after you watch, if this isn't live when you're watching. I kind of want to hear from all of you guys. Civil unrest is a huge deal, and Dirty Civilian also put out a really eye-opening video today too, because we've seen a drastic increase after Charlie Kirk's assassination for the term Civil War. And I don't think a lot of people, for those that are really calling like, oh, it's time to take to the streets to do something, what is it you want to do? What does the action look like? And do you know the repercussion of said action? I, for one, don't think a lot of people are ready for the true repercussions if you were to actually take to the streets and look for a violent solution. Violence, if I'm being completely honest, and it might sound a little off color here, is sometimes the answer. Especially if you're hit with violence and you have no other way to stop said violence, you might need violence on your end to stop that evil that might be oppressing you. So, civil unrest, what does it look like? We've seen a lot of examples throughout the course of history what civil unrest might look like, what natural disasters that can cause civil unrest. We see, again, just political issues. We see the death of a criminal sparking outrage in major cities. We see a lot of that. Used to. How do you prepare for that? Well, there's a lot of ways to prepare for that. One of the biggest ways is get out of the damn city. I know that's not a real solution for everybody out there. Your entire life, family, livelihood, everything might be in the city. I get that in a higher populated area, but we also see that these higher populated areas are targets. Targets for outside forces, for inside forces. They are the target. I mean, they're the targeting grounds for civil unrest. So I've got a couple of products with me today to kind of like think about preparing for that type of stuff, you know. But before we start talking about all that, let me get over to the live chat, make sure that I'm actually being heard and that I didn't accidentally mute my mic again. Nobody's saying that, so I think we're good. But let's get on over here. First and foremost, I saw Mark on Rumble, which, by the way, if you're not subscribed to my Rumble channel, magdump_Morgan, which is pretty much the same. It's the same for all my social media outlets. It's either magdump_Morgan or just magdumpmorgan. And I'll make it easy for you. I'm going to drop a link to a very important video in the chat for all of you that are watching on Facebook, or does it go to Facebook? I think it's just YouTube, Twitch, might be Facebook too. Anyway, yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. You guys are getting the chat now as it comes. That's a link to my 100K thank you video. I've been having some issues with YouTube. I'm a gun channel. I primarily focus on firearms, talk about guns. A lot of my videos are being limited monetization. I had to re-upload my Ruger video because it got hit with an age restriction. I changed the thumbnail from the pistol being equipped with a silencer because I shoot it suppressed in the video. I changed the thumbnail, re-uploaded, minor change in the description. Now it's fully monetized. For now, it's probably going to change. We'll see. But YouTube's really been cracking down on me. Monadnock Firearms, which, by the way, if you guys aren't following Monadnock, Monadnock, Mount Monadnock, the most popular mountain in all of North America, right here in New Hampshire, right, not far. They got a lot of followers from my 100K thank you. It was an entry method. And YouTube removed them all. It's crazy. Removed them all. Because I guess they look at it like it's not a legitimate follow. So, go back, refollow Monadnock Firearms, like, comment, and share some of their videos. It's just me just talking about some guns. It's just shorts. Like literally you're talking about under 2 minutes of me just finding something in the shop and being like excited about it because it's a gun shop and he gets a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool trade-ins, consignment guns, things like that. Some rare ones you don't often see. And he gets some pretty cool new ones too. And so check out Monadnock Firearms over there. It's really shitty what YouTube's kind of doing. That's why I'm starting to do more on Rumble. Like I'm kind of slowly transitioning. I mean, I'm still going to keep doing things on YouTube just to spite YouTube. And let's be real, I've got 100K here for now. You know, if I can keep this channel going, I'm definitely going to do it. But I'm just thinking the 100K thank you I did for YouTube, I think we go bigger. You know, my Rumble following is only at like 10% of what, not even, it's like 1% of what my YouTube following is. But I definitely think that we should go really big for the 100K. Thank you. It's opposite side, that 100K. Thank you. We should go really big. The Rumble one. Like, kind of big. You know what I mean? I'll figure that out. We got time. So, with all that, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for helping me get the channel to 100K. Thanks for all of your support, your encouragement. Again, Kelsey, if you're watching, I got her a director's chair, guys. It's got the CM logo on like this side, and then on the back side, a nice little script, cursive, Mrs. Magdump. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. But anyway, civil unrest. It's a scary thing to think about, especially after becoming a father. I was even talking to Kels earlier, and I said, you know, if I was a single man, unmarried, no kids, I'd feel more inclined to want to take more action. But now being a parent and thinking about my kids and the future I want them to have, I know that there needs to be sacrifices need to be made, like me having to go do something, like having to, like, you know, for work or whatever else it might be. You know, I took one thing off of my plate so that way I could spend more time with my kids. Well, I changed my entire life so that way I could spend more time with my kids. You know, left Classic, left the Marine Corps. Now all the traveling I do is either for me or for Gun Owners of America, or, you know, a couple of other shoots or something like that, you know, like with Henry or something. So, but I think, how do we prevent going further down this divisive rabbit hole that this country is currently going down? And, you know, I can't help but to think we come together more. And I think what we saw tonight, when there were over 300,000 people watching live Charlie Kirk's memorial, there was over 100,000 people at least in attendance. And man, that was, like I said, it was a powerful thing to watch. So the one thing we have to be prepared for, though, are the things that you cannot prevent, the things that are absolutely out of your control. For instance, as I've mentioned so many times, when that evil comes knocking, how you respond to it is ultimately going to determine whether or not you survive that encounter and overcome said evil. So carry a gun, seek training with quality gear and quality instructors, and be prepared. It's not paranoia. So many times I have to say, when we talk about civil unrest, when we talk about defensive situations, when we talk about carrying a gun, oh, you afraid? Are you afraid, bro? No, I'm not. I have a gun. Like, you know, like I make light of that, but no, I want to make sure I'm not afraid. I'm awake. I realize that evil exists and that it can present its disgusting, nasty self at any given time. And I just want to be as prepared as possible for it, especially if I'm with my family. I said in my podcast with, you know, Rob and Steven and Aaron, you know, I carry because I love. I do a lot of this. I talk. I open up my dialogue and I talk with you guys as much as I can, you know, on here, because I truly think that there's, not to get all hippy dippy on you guys though, but I think there's like really positive vibes and like good love here in the comments section. I see you guys talk all the time about, you know, somebody has a question about optics this, optic that, stigmatism. What do you guys recommend? And you guys are in there like, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And you might poke a little bit of fun at each other too, but man, that's community. That's cool. And I want to keep doing that too, you know, even though all my stuff's mostly on the internet, but, yeah. So staying prepared is not paranoia, it's being aware. I want to prepare because I am aware. There you go. Look at that, man. Musically inclined over here. You know, I'm a poet. Anyway, Jake, good to see you too, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a monthly subscriber. I did see that we got Tim Butchinchan became a YouTube member. Thank you. You monthly members that are paying to get access to the videos before they get dropped on Sunday. I'm going to be dropping more and more content also. You guys are getting pretty much that early look into what's being dropped. And thank you guys. You really do help out a lot. Super chats, all that stuff. Big, huge help. Especially since, as I also mentioned in the thumbnail, well, I kind of lied. We got a horse. I talked about that not too long ago. I think I talked about that in my last live stream, that we had our eyes on this one horse. Her name's Chance. Take a chance on Chance. And she's one that I bonded with a couple years ago at the Therapeutic Equine Center that Kelsey used to work at. We're still friends with the people over there. But her and I bonded, and they're downsizing, and they asked if we'd like her. And, well, now she's in my backyard. And because we're psychotic, and my wife said, well, we can't have her out there alone. She needs a companion. I feel like this was a ruse. I feel like this was the plan all along. Like, we obviously need to get two because can't have a horse by herself. That's rude. It's mean. So I lied. We didn't get a horse. We got two. This one's a filly. She's young, and I have a story with her too. She belonged to our neighbors, and she's a Connemara, the first one that was born in the county that I live in. And she was born. It was still snow on the ground, and my neighbor, her husband he was coming back from work, but he wasn't there yet. And they needed somebody to carry the brand new baby pony into the barn. And who was there? I was. So fresh, right out of the womb, carried this messy baby of a horse, of a pony, into the barn, got her on our legs. And that was really cool. So I was there the day she was born. And so there's a cool story with that too. So, you know, because why not, right? So my next video I want to do is on my Henry Mare's leg. And you know, for those of you watching the live stream, I'm going to go ahead and spoil the joke for you, because I'm going to say mare's leg, mare's leg, right? Yeah. And yes, I do plan on shooting off of the mare, off of Chance. I'm going to have my buddy Drew Wallace help me get her gun broke and start doing some mounted competitions. That sounds like it's going to happen really soon. It's not, because I actually have to like I know how to ride, okay? But I got a ways to go before I get really proficient. So, and then incorporating firearms on top of that. It's going to be a while before I start posting any videos of me shooting off of my horse. All right. We got to get her trained up. I got to get trained up. Anyway, thanks for being a YouTube member. Appreciate that. G23 in the house. We got Goonbeam Glowy, Goonbeam. Good to see you guys, man. That's what's up, dude. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. Hit that thumbs up, y'all. It's free and helps the channel. You are 110% true about that, because like I said, man, YouTube's got it out for me. I don't know if there's somebody that I rubbed the wrong way, maybe some anti-gunner that I, proved they were wrong, and now maybe they're reporting all my videos or something. I've got no idea, but to be getting 1% of the views out of total subscribers is pretty wild. After the last couple of uploads, maybe I'll hit the nail on the head and just say, maybe my content sucks. Maybe that's just what it is. Whatever. I'm still not going to stop, and all the haters can laugh down in the comment section below, or internally, or whatever you want to do, because you don't want to help the algorithm. You're not going to stop me. So on to the next one. Oh man, let's see here. Thank you again, Jake. Appreciate you, man. Apparently horses are like boxers. You can't have just one. No. I knew a really good boxer. He was a big boy. He was a good dog. Yeah, I haven't met a boxer I haven't liked. I haven't met too many dogs I haven't liked. My German Shepherd we have, her name's Rayla. She's very high strung. She drives me crazy, but she is such a sweetheart. Um, and then of course I had to put my dog down. Hugger. She was a Chow Lab mix. She was almost 14. She would be 14 next month. And man, she was a great dog. Great dog. She was an asshole, but she was a really good dog. But you know, what can you do? Tanner, what's up, man? Riley says hi. Clint, we'll tell Riley. Shout out to you, Riley. Thanks for tuning in, Riley. I appreciate you. Be good to your mom and dad. Listen to them. All right. It's okay if you give your dad a hard time on occasion. Just be nice to your mom. She's a sweetheart. Oh, man. James, thank you for being a monthly member. The world is a bit less bright after Charlie Kirk died. God rest his soul and look after his family. It's wild to me how much they have smeared Charlie. Watching the full-length videos of the clips of that they're taking out of context or just a quick little 20-second quote of his, and then watching the full-length video and you're just like, wow, that 20-second clip makes a lot more sense than what ABC and everybody else that's just disgusting is putting out there. It's wild. In fact, you know what? Let's drop into the link. How about it? Can I find it really quick? I found on YouTube. It was a very difficult video to find. Now I'm going to have to try to go back and find it as well. But man, it was some random, yeah, here it is. Random YouTube page. Ting, ting, tang, tang. 21 subscribers. And he's been dropping like the Charlie Kirk edits for videos, you know, that here's the full context. I'm going to give it to you guys right now. The full context for the Second Amendment quote about the gun deaths. You know, he believes that gun deaths are pretty much a necessary thing. And what he's talking about is ultimately it's the price we pay for freedom. He said there's 50,000 vehicle fatalities a year, which greatly outweighs the number of gun deaths a year. But yet we all choose that, well, risk versus reward. You know, it would be, I know that 50,000, I could be one of the 50,000 people that die every year driving a car, but I just feel like it's easier to commute to the grocery store with my SUV and load up my SUV with groceries instead of trying to walk or ride a bike or something like that. Which, how many pedestrians and how many bike riders are killed a year by vehicles and everything else? Don't know. Don't know if that number's factored into the vehicle deaths, but still, just getting up and walking out your front door, hell, even just existing, you're accepting that you could die at any point in time. So here's the link to this. You know, I think it's a great conversation. It was at one of Turning Point Faith events, I believe. And so there's the full video. And then that same YouTube channel has the entire like 3-hour long segment of Q&A there. You know, pretty wild. Tanner, what's up? Haha. I want to get the Bull Ultralight Pro for EDC. Thoughts? Are they hard for an FFL to get? I don't think they're hard for the FFL to get, but I think you just have to make the purchase. I don't think Bull Armory does any dealer sales. So you make it, you buy it, you make the purchase, you buy it online, select the FFL you want it shipped to. And that's that. So, but as far as the Bull Armory Ultralight Pro goes, I don't have the Pro. I've got the standard. I do have the TAC Pro, which you guys have seen all over. But I've got the regular Ultralight, and I will tell you, it is a fantastic pistol. I love the way that gun shoots. I've got my initial review on it. You can take a look at that. And I appreciate you again for the super chat, Tanner. Thanks, man. But yeah, going back to the George Floyd stuff, I see that. Zach Rogan, I see your comment too. I don't think I can post that one without YouTube getting mad. So we'll just continue on, but I see you and I don't disagree. Um, so there are some out there. Shannon, I don't agree with Charlie. I don't think anyone should die for the freedom of speech. A lot of men and women have died for our freedoms since before our nation was founded. You can believe that no one should die for the freedom of speech. And I don't think you're wrong. I think I see where you're coming from. I think what you're trying to say is people should be able to speak what they think, how they feel, whatever it might be. Words are just words, right? And we do have a First Amendment. People should be able to speak without fear of being killed for their speech. That I agree with. But as far as people shouldn't die for the freedom of speech, it hasn't just been the freedom of speech that people have died for. It's been all of our freedoms, all of which that are being dwindled every single day. Let's try not to let it be in vain. Rent collector, there's nothing civil about war. No. That's for sure. Chillin' 54. It's small for now, but just wait. Wait for the economic down when it gets worse. No one will ever be ready. You're absolutely right. Because the other thing about civil war and what to be prepared about, let's just go ahead and roll into some of these things here. Some of these things that I think will be truly a things to have if and or when we start to see that downfall, that collapse, that civil unrest, that societal collapse. And because one of the first things I think people are going to realize is, oh crap, the grocery store isn't stocked. I mean, think about COVID. COVID hits and everybody's taking the toilet paper off the shelves. What? Okay. I feel like toilet paper, though a nice commodity, might be one of the things you last think about during a civil war. I think, having enough guns and ammunition would be one thing, but food, clean water, communication with your loved ones, all of that is probably going out the window. So unless you have some way to communicate, you're all local to one another, you are self-sustaining, you have a farm or at least the ability to grow your own animals, grow your own vegetables and fruits. Because you take away McDonald's and the grocery stores, I think you're going to see a lot of people die really quick. You take away electricity. The moment that AC turns off, in Europe, you got more people dying from heat heat casualties. Just saying. Food. It's an important thing. If you can't grow it yourself, I recommend you stock up. And there's a lot of different companies, ReadyWise, Wise Company, Mountain House, all that type of stuff. So Kels really likes the flavor of this stuff from Backpacker's Pantry. All right. But these things are great. I know, you can stack them up against a wall. They stack on top of each other, these bins. You can get them with all sorts of different meals, flavors, all sorts of stuff. Stocking up on ready-to-eat type of food. MREs. I still got a bunch of them, Stuff that it was like, hey, we need to make this disappear, so load it up. Things like that. And That's the kind of stuff to keep on hand to get you through perhaps maybe, a temporary natural disaster, right? Something like that. Power outages, bad snowstorm up where I'm at, something like that. Something where you kind of got to hold up and you just got to bear the grunt of it for a little while until services can come back on. That's if they come back on. You're going to need a lot more than a couple buckets of food if this is going to be a prolonged event. So you have to really start thinking outside the box there. And what are some long sustaining foods that you can have that can at least provide some nourishment? Pemmican, wasn't that like old school, like things that you could make that would last a really long time, that's really nutritious, might not taste that good, but I think that's what it was called. Stuff like that. Learn how to make that, right? I got to do that. I need to do better. Today I was like, how blessed am I? Like, we had a couple of friends come over for dinner, and I was able to share with them a lot of the fruit, a lot of the vegetables that we got out of our garden, because we got too many tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff and peppers. So it's like, hey, take this, abundance of stuff that came from our garden that has only ever just been watered. No pesticides, no nothing. Just there you go. Eggs from the chickens and the ducks who were getting just fed, quality grain and stuff from the garden. We're going a bunch of kale. I don't really eat kale, but guess what? The ducks and the birds, they seem to love it. So here you go. Have some kale. I wouldn't mind some goats. I wouldn't mind goats next. Just have this little small farm on the couple of acres that we live on. Just some goats. If I could build like a little temporary, I don't want to call it temporary, but maybe a mobile like pen. So that way I could just drag it across the yard to keep the grass down for the goats. I think that'd be kind of nice. I don't know. No. James, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. I am waiting on the Jacob Gray Knox 9 to come out. I've shifted from the Bulltack Pro to that, but maybe I will get both if this job interview goes well on Tuesday. Well, best of luck to you. I will pray that you will do really well in this interview. All right. I'm going to pray that you do really well in this interview. Good vibes to James, everybody. So that way he can afford to get more Second Amendment goodies. All right. I haven't seen the Jacob Gray Knox 9, but I can tell you, I think you'd be really happy with that Bulltack Pro. I would like to do maybe, since you're kind of coming down to the two of those, or since you've shifted from the Bull to the Knox 9, I wouldn't mind trying the Knox 9 and seeing what's up with that. But thank you, James. Greatly appreciate that super chat. $20. Man, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Solo Gordo, thank you as well. Check out 110 SAS Actual's velocity test on the 308 Shell Shock ammo, averaging 200 feet per second faster than standard brass ammo. I know it's your favorite caliber. I do love 308. It is my favorite. And see a couple of 5.56s. Here we go. And it is an excellent round. I love 308. I mostly love 308 because that's what the FAL's chambered in. Here, let me just get completely out. There it is. Look at that thing. Glorious. Right? I love the 308 cartridge. You just feel good shooting it, Thank you. Appreciate that, Solo Gordo. William, thanks for tuning in, man. A lot of people think that the lack of action means the inability to act. That's solid words. They seem to confuse tolerance with inability. We are tolerating their actions, and our patience is wearing thin. You're not wrong. But this is why I say community is so important. Because the moment that you act out, and let me put it this way, I'm not advocating for violence. Not advocating for violence. What I'm saying is that if you act out as just one, you don't try things peacefully, you act out as a lone wolf, whatever, you're no better than this shithead that shot Charlie. Community is important. Organizing is important. Communication within your community is important. Get to know your neighbors. Find out who can be trusted. Create a friend group. You know, that's something that we've gotten so far away from, is actually knowing our neighbors. You know, we're pretty tight with our neighbors, like right next to us. I got a couple around. We all kind of text each other when we're shooting and stuff like that, which is cool. Because you know, here's my place, got another place here, and another place like right here, and we all shoot like in this kind of direction. It's really kind of funny. I've got my range with my backstop and everything. We're not worried about any issues, but yeah, but no, it's just, and it's going into hundreds of yards of woods, thick woods. But get to know your community. That's a big thing when it comes to civil unrest. Is at the end of the day, we are kind of like them horses out there. We have a herd mentality. We got to get to know each other. When I think of civil unrest, I also think about, especially guys, again, if you're in those populated cities and those areas, invest in a quality gas mask. Because even if you're not participating in any type of riot or mostly peaceful protest or anything like that, and CS gas, any type of gas gets used, you can damn well sure. Dirty Civilian brought up a great point that if you live in an area in which that gas is being used, you can absolutely guarantee that that's probably going to be getting filtered into your house, one way or another. Mira Safety, Avon, I guess now, I didn't know this, I guess Avon's now making gas masks for the civilian market, which is great. But Mira Safety, I love this one. This is one of their newer ones, the CM8. It looks almost like I'm kind of wearing it. This one's a great gas mask. They make them for kids. They've got like gas. I don't even know how to explain it. It's for dogs, put it that way, for pets. They make all sorts of stuff. They make even like decontamination showers. Mira Safety makes all that type of stuff. And guys, I'm just saying these are the products I use. Mira Safety is not paying me. All right. Backcountry, I forgot the name. Pantry. Yeah, no, it's not even Backcountry. It's Backpackers Pantry. Yeah. They would not be getting their money's worth if I mentioned the other brands and also didn't get their name right. They're not paying me. I'm just saying these are some of the products that I use. If they wanted to sponsor the channel, hey, that'd be great. But no, I'm just saying these are the products that Kels has tried, that she likes, that things taste good. I'm just saying this is quality stuff. Now I do have a partnership with the next two. All right. So there's a caveat. But that's because I sought them out because they were just making such a quality product and interesting things, because we're talking about like the gas masks. We're talking about, again, civil unrest. We're talking about the supply chain failing. What about you get injured, you get cut, you get shot. You're able to maybe dress the wound, but are you prepared for, well, I get cut, and now all of a sudden that gets infected, and now I don't have pills for that. So, Jace Case, code MAGDUMP, save you a little bit of money. Jace Medical, you can get prescriptions, you can get all that, that you can stock up on. There you go. Like I think that's so important. It's one thing to know how to fix a boo-boo, but it's one thing to be able to treat it and prevent any type of infection. That's a huge deal, if you ask me. Antibiotics are something that I think are totally slept on. I keep stuff in different bags, and this is nice because obviously it's pretty visible. You know what it is, and you keep it somewhere that's nice and dry, whatever. Check on the dates of things. You can get stuff replenished. Easy. Jace Case, code MAGDUMP. I think is a pretty solid thing. Going back to some of the conversation, Solo Gordo is saying it takes a lot of strength to hold your peace. You're absolutely right. Nick, good to see you, man. I'll check Rest Stream out tomorrow. Much love. Thank you. Appreciate you, Nick. Thank you for being here, man. Go for the Backpacker Pantry spaghetti. All right. So you like the spaghetti. Vulcan Rumble. Thank you. Appreciate that. Patrick Moore, good to see you as well. Thank you. Let's see here. We've got Thomas Snipes. Good to see you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Snipes and I were served in the Marines together when I was down in CLB 451, Det 1, down in Greenville, South Carolina. Good to see you, dude. Thanks for tuning in, man. That means a lot. Appreciate that. And you'll catch the next one, or the next one, or the next one, or the next one. Like I said, I'm not stopping. Enter Wolf of Wall Street meme here. I'm not fucking leaving. Oh, man. W Gear. Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. Peak biscuits and gravy, right? There you go. Juxtason, I love it when dude, you're killing me with the Jessica shit. I love it when I see Jessica wearing black dress because it makes me think of the black plastic on rifles. It ultimately makes the M16A2 my favorite gun personally, and the AR platform with spares. You know, dude, I love how loyal of a viewer you are. All right, and don't take this the wrong way. Are you going to therapy? Because you're, you know, with Jessica Simpson, you know, I think she's a talented woman. Not exactly my style, really, at the end of it all. More of a well, pretty much anything other than that. But you know, I do like how you relate everything back to firearms, though. You know? And I would be an absolute liar and hypocrite if I didn't say some of my guns were sexy. I absolutely. Yeah, especially the one that I did myself with Daniel Defense, which you guys should check out because it's still available. You still got a little bit more time for the Signature Series Magnum Morgan Mark 18 with GOA. Just throwing that out there. All right. It's right there. Oh, man. Oh, y'all kill me, dude. Y'all absolutely kill me. Let's see here. Solo Goater, my current main is a 12.5 BCMDD build with an EOTech 518. Takes AA batteries. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I like, you know, like the EXPSs, things like that, because they just take a little bit less footprint on the receiver. But the 518, I also like because it takes a more readily and affordable battery. You know, pros and cons. But anyway, with the 5X magnifier, the G45, great. I have that on. I shift optics a lot, trying different things out, you know, tactical Barbie doll over here. But anyway, so EOTech 5X magnifier with the Hucktrix Ventum 556, awesome can. Just right for most urban environments. I think you're pretty much spot on right there, you know. Chris, 8R22, finally made them. Whoa. So when you buying that first suppressor, Chris here finally made the move from New Jersey to Tennessee. Freedom feels good, dude. That is that's awesome, man. That's great. It's unfortunate that you have to move from one state to another to experience freedom, but at least you live in a country that allows you to do that. So there you go. Is Jessica Simpson abroad? She's a singer. Oh God. William, Clint, face it, if we are watching you, we all need therapy, and that's a good thing, you know? All right. I don't disagree with that. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Oh man. Jeffrey Brown, pretty much everything other than that. So so the Mark 18. All right, so hear me out, all right? I can't pick it up and handle it because YouTube is a bitch. But if you check out the Dandy Defense Signature Series, and if I could learn how to breathe, man, I'm terrible at being a human sometimes. But if you check out Dandy Defense's website, they've got the Signature Series Mark 18 listed. $34.99 comes with the Huxworks muzzle device, comes with a custom Cerakote, comes with the Pocket Constitution exclusive patch and challenge coin. That's what I was looking for. On top of that, it is also coming with it's the only offering in the Mark 18 with the Riz 2 quad rail and their ambidextrous lower receiver, driven arms co VCGL grip enhanced trigger. So still mil spec trigger that's pretty much been polished. SP Tactical A5 brace, which is like the best brace, if you ask me. It is considered a pistol. Angled foregrip from Magpul, burn-proof gear, rail wrap, EOTech EXPS 2, and all that in a bag of chips. So yeah, that is, I know I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, the Surefire light and pressure pad. It's coming with the Surefire turbo light also, and the mod light mod button. So it's coming with all of that. We wanted to price it so that way it was at least, I mean, more than fair, because there's no way you could price all of that new product and still get out for less than what is being offered right now. So yeah, there you go. And I believe it's a great, I mean, you guys already know I love the Mark 18. I think it's a fantastic little shooter. So Lenny Stubbs, God bless Charlie, and God bless you, Clint, for what you do. Man, thank you. I'm just a dude on the internet that likes talking to like-minded people. Sometimes not like-minded people, which is nothing wrong with that whatsoever, except sometimes that other side might shoot you for it. The Cajun Cheesehead. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hey, Clint. I've been watching you since Classic. Start doing gear mod videos like tap rig mods, etc. People really need stuff like setting up a camp and tent set up for hiding and survival. That would be a lot of fun. You know, I've got a couple of like tents that I really like. There's also some like things that you want to be able to be a little bit more mobile with, you know. Like the stuff that I was issued, it was pretty solid gear. Actually, it wasn't bad. We had like some of the 2-man tents and things like that, but even our sleeping systems, you could actually sleep in without having to have a shelter, because you could zip up in it. It's waterproof, it keeps the bugs off of you, all that type of stuff. Also, there's things like that you can pack up really quick in case you got to move, because you don't want to be breaking down a tent. If you start taking, enemy fire, right? So, yeah. I would like to get, survivalists involved with that, though. Because I can get, like I said, I can kind of speak to just what I know, which isn't a whole lot in that regard. Like, I know some things, really in depth, but when it comes to, like, living outdoors and stuff, I feel like I could do it for a while, and then I'm going to think that this one berry that looks safe to eat actually isn't, and then I'm going to die from dehydration because I just threw up all my insides, So that's the kind of stuff that I just don't want to do, and I'd rather have an expert come on the channel, So there you go. Oh, man. Jack Boxer, I'm in need of 2A bourbon. 2A bourbon is fantastic. You guys know I love them. I keep that bottle on me, dude. Thank you. Rustic Arms, thank you, man. 100K thank you is currently live. Rustic Arms, EOTech, Surefire, Burn-Proof Gear, Driven Arms Co., B5 Systems, Tech 10 Slings. We've also got RTS Tactical and, the RTS Tactical Mini Shield. We've got NobleWorks American Flag. We've got Otis Cleaning Gear. Oh, and Hold Up Displays is even throwing in a section of their wall, like, for this 100K thank you. So go check out that video that I dropped in the, just go to Rumble, magdump_Morgan, 100K thank you. Check the description. Bam. Thank you. That's what's up, all right? Oh, man. Let's see here. We've got Sup Rostic, Whipple Coyote, great value, Clint checking it. Oh, dude, you crack me up, man. So this is Josh, everybody. This is Josh. You may have seen him in I don't know. I haven't looked recently. Sorry, guys. But we could pull up the Classic Firearms YouTube channel really fast. Let's do that really quick. I want to go to Classic because you guys probably saw him in thumbnail. He's in a video recently. Oh no, that's Ryan. That's I saw the AR pistol battle. Yeah, there's a couple there. Anyway, no, Josh, drop the one that you were in. Um, so Josh, he's over there. He was at Classic for a good while I was there, working warehouse and different things, and solid dude. He's got some pretty cool guns and shit, and he knows his shit too. And go comment, man. Get him in some more videos. Go comment there. Say, hey, we want more of Josh. All right. And I don't think he'll be disappointed if you say, just call him GVC, Great Value Clint. All right. Josh, GVC, Whipple, Coyote. That's it. Dude, you crack me up, man. It's good to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well, man. It's been a while since I've talked to the guys over at the Classic team, but tell everybody I said hey. And, man, I did have a good talk with Alec not too long ago, by the way. So he says hi to everybody. And looks like my wife texted. She wants to thank everybody for all the super chats. So thank you guys. Really appreciate that. All right. Thank you guys. But yeah, it's good to see you, man. Really, really appreciate that. And Idiocratus, CF has never been the same without you. And that's just, it is what it is. It's just the evolution of the channel, man. That's just how it goes. Before me, it was Ben. And, people said the same thing, like, oh, who's this young dude? He doesn't know anything. Get this punk off the channel. Bring Ben back, right? And then, once Kyle leaves one day, if that ever happens, who knows? Or Jason or whatever, the same thing happened with Alec and Katie. Where's Katie? Where's Alec? Where's Matt? Like, oh, Matt's still here. He's just having to work, It's just, like I said, the evolution of the channel. It's just how it goes. And it's not to say that I wouldn't ever come back. I don't know if Classic would ever have me back, but I'm just saying I'd appear in another video or two, I'm just saying. So there you go. Oh man. But let's see. Let's get to a couple more, because the other thing, because I'm getting a little off topic. I love having the discussion with you guys and all that, and I hope anybody that's watching this after the live stream, you're not, like, okay, he's just answering questions. Are we going to get back to the topic of civil unrest? Because I legitimately, I don't know if I want to say fear, concern about today's memorial for Charlie Kirk, right? I asked Kels, and I was like, dude, what the hell are we going to do if something pops off? I mean, they arrested a guy the night before, right? That wasn't just BS. That wasn't just a rumor. Somebody was legitimately arrested the night before for trying to get into the venue in a police uniform. I just kept thinking, I was like, man, I get it that security's tight, real time. You got the president. I mean, you pretty much had the entire leadership, the entire representation for this country present. Everybody from the president and the vice president, the chief of war, the Secretary of State, that you had the Speaker of the House, you had many members of both Senate and House. Like, all I could think of is like, goodness gracious, what a prime target for anybody looking to do the undoing of our country, to cause civil unrest. Oh my, I can imagine security, Secret Service, everybody was just on edge the entire time. I mean, the bulletproof glass that they had the speakers behind, stuff like that. It's obnoxious that we've gotten to this point. It's insane. But this is the world we live in. And how many times, I know all of you are here, but share. Screw the algorithm. Share it, because people need to hear that evil exists. And they are making themselves so well known. They made themselves so well known. They've been lingering silently. They've been lingering, and they made themselves so well known after his death. Laughing, calling for the death of his wife and kids. That's what, like, I know some kids might be watching right now. I mean, I get it. I guess it's getting a little late, but depending on what your location is in the country, I've got some choice words for those individuals. making it really difficult to want to have a open dialogue with these people. And that's why at this point I'm not. I can have a dialogue with those that just have opposing views. But if you're celebrating and calling for further death, especially the death of his wife and children, you are disgusting. Disgusting. And I admit, Erica tonight forgave her husband's assassin in front of the world. I don't know. I could pray for it. I could ask for it. I don't know if I would have the strength. I mm, I guys, I don't know. I legitimately cannot even imagine. I feel like I'd be asking for forgiveness, not offering it. And that's in my mind the easy thing to do. If you get what I mean by that. And I couldn't help but to think, what if something happens today? You know, like what do we do? Would we see would that be the line in the sand that finally said we're done? Would we see that civil unrest I'm talking about? We've got very different mindsets from those that responded the way they did after George Floyd's death. I'll just bring that up again. Comparing that again to Charlie Kirk's death. And I know a lot of us guys are probably feeling the same way that I have been for over a week now. Now, I never met Charlie. 2A Defenders, the organization that I'm chairperson of, that's under Gun Owners Foundation, that's, GOA's sister organization. We were in talks or beginning to have that discussion with Turning Point about having a 2A Defenders presence with Charlie. What I mean by that is having myself or other individuals associated with GOA to come and speak about firearms at college campuses with Charlie. We are going to be attending. We were going to anyway, but we are planning on attending even if we can in a bigger space to AmFest in December. So if you're going, I look forward to seeing you. And I have the idea that that's going to be a very large conservative convention, if not the largest that we've seen in a long time. It's going to be interesting. But his death, I think, impacted people so differently than anything we could have imagined. I was sad when Chester Bennington died. Grew up with his music, right? Linkin Park. I was like, man, that sucks. I was really sad when Robin Williams died. That one, that was my childhood, right? And to find out how he died, same with Chester, it's devastating. But this hit. I mean, I was in tears. My wife in tears for somebody we never met. And I know we weren't the only ones. I know it. I saw it all over social media. I saw how disgusting and I think that's the part that probably hurt the most was I I believe I'm more conservative than Charlie Kirk in a lot of ways. And they killed him for his views. What are you going to think about me and people who think like me? And they celebrated it. And it's like, man, Kels, a friend of hers from high school, said that Charlie Kirk pretty much got his karma because he talked positively about guns. This woman was invited to our wedding and said to Kelsey that you have your opinions because you married a gun guy. I kind of want to drop her name, but I'm not going to do that. I won't do that to Kels. Not that it matters. I mean, how many? I'll behave. But Kels asked her, so do you think my husband deserves to die and that our kids are left fatherless and me a widow just because he's pro Second Amendment? And she blocked her. She blocked my wife. She blocked Kelsey after asking that question. Friends since high school. Invited to our wedding. Wow. It's insane to me. See, these are the snakes. That's that evil, like I said, that's been lying silently, dormant. And Charlie's passing has exposed a lot of those snakes that have been hanging out in the garden. Another thing we can thank him for. It's pretty wild, right? But I thought if something happens today that's going to lead to more civil unrest, and guys, you got to be prepared. Firearms are the cool, fun, sexy thing. Training, that's the fun stuff. The not so fun stuff is being prepared for things like antibiotics, right? Having the gas mask is kind of like, oh yeah, I got that, I'm good, right? But making sure the canisters are dated, making sure that they're sealed, and making sure that they're where they need to be. First aid. You guys already know I love Trauma Pack. Trauma Pack, they just make such a quality product, man. And when I first linked up with them, the passion behind it, especially with their Save a Life program. If you use any of their products, any of their first aid kits or trauma kits, I've got their Patriot bag here. This thing, I keep in my car. I mean, look at this thing. It is loaded out, ready to go. Everything you need. It's awesome, right? Not a cheap bag. Well, the bag, yes, but not a cheap kit whatsoever. But that thing is awesome. And if you use any of the equipment, any of the gear, any of the first aid product to help save a life, they replace it at no cost, right? Like that's super cool. They do trainings. There's other brands out there too, that also do like first aid trainings and classes and education, right? Trauma Pack does a great job on their social media, but like My Medic is out there to name another if you guys are looking for different brands and stuff. But check them out, Invest in your safety. And here's the other thing, guys. You can have all the gear. Body armor, right? You see my plate carrier from Audi Gear here. You can have the most high-speed Gucci gun. You can have the most ideal Eberly stock backpack. Love Eberly stock. Also not sponsored. And you can have all the gear, all the cool guns. But if you've not spent one day in the gym or running, you're going to find out really quick what fatigue is and how difficult it is to get accurate shots on a stationary target that's not shooting at you after running in full kit up and down the range. whether that be a couple 100 yards or 50 feet. Sprint that 50 feet and then focus on your point of impact. T-box. 3 shots, 50 feet, 25 yards, let's call it. Simple. Sprint 50 feet, full kit, get 3 shots. No time. Just do it. And then try to speed up and speed up and speed up. Because you should probably be able to do that in under 2 seconds. Not the 50 feet part, but but once you start pulling the trigger. Idiocratus. The question is, how do we coexist with them? I don't think it's possible anymore. Not with people that would rather you be dead instead of speaking. You can't coexist with those people. You don't. You also can't resort to violence. So what do you do? I mean, at the end of it all, you can do whatever you want to do. Nothing's stopping you. You have free will. That's something that God gave us. The problem is, if you exercise said free will, what are the repercussions of it? There's people that just want you dead. Irina, killed in my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina, by somebody that I have mutual friends with on Facebook. We're the same age. I don't know what school he went to or anything like that, but I looked him up. Sure enough, I've got several mutual friends from high school with this guy that killed Irina, the Ukrainian refugee that was coming home from work on the light rail and stabbed her in the neck 3 times. And he walked away saying, "I got that white girl." I don't know anything about that girl other than she came to America seeking safety, peace. It's wild to think that she could still be alive if she was in a war-torn country. So when I say it's preparedness, not paranoia, believe me, keep your head on a swivel. We can't any longer sit in the open. Our back has to be against the wall. There's a lot of us that have already kind of gotten that idea. Anyway, I'm sitting in a corner in the back of a building so I can see the front door. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then get your mind right. It's not paranoia. It's preparedness. It's knowing that evil exists, and it's knowing that I want to have the advantage if it presents itself. And how I confront it should be left up to how I want to confront it. I shouldn't be limited to magazine capacities. I shouldn't be limited to the type of firearm. I shouldn't be limited whatsoever to be able to deem what I see fit to protect me and my loved ones. Or just those innocent around me. Some governments will tell you, nope, we're going to make that decision for you. In fact, we're going to think we could prevent somebody from killing somebody just because they felt like killing somebody by banning the guns, by taking away the AR-15. Because why? Because I guess that's just what they consider to be the gun that just commits all of this violence and all of this evil. Never mind a 30-06 bolt-action rifle that was used. It did not take the life of Charlie Kirk. It was used by a person pulling the trigger to take his life. Never mind a folding pocket knife to kill Irina. Never mind the vehicle that Daryl Brooks drove into a crowd of people, killing many. Never mind Timothy McVeigh utilizing a box truck, fertilizer, and other products that you could buy at your local hardware store to blow up a building and kill dozens. It's over 100 people, I thought, if I remember correctly. Ironically, those numbers pale in comparison to the amount of death that an unarmed society will see at the hands of their government, as has been seen throughout the course of history. Millions, hundreds of millions. I'm not even making that. Hundreds of millions of people have died at the hand of their own government after they were stripped of their right to defend themselves. We are at the defining point of dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. I believe that. Hootie hoo. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for tuning in, man. I agree also. Tanner, I'll give you $1. Tell us her name. Oh, man. Thank you guys for the super chats. Really appreciate that. It does help out the channel a lot. Barefoot Gardener. I do a similar workout, the 50-foot dash, but with BB guns. It's a more affordable drill, that's for sure. Oh, man. Steven, good to see you, man. Don't mention their names. I really shouldn't. I'm not mentioning, a lot of the shooters' names. I want to mention some of the other names, though, just for historical context. Because if I just say the guy that ran into a crowd of people, well, you could almost think which one. Kind of crazy, right? Because there's been a few. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing you, Jared, too. Callie trying to ban Glocks is the wildest thing I've ever heard. They're just going to go after what's popular. That's just it. Scary black gun, I guess. That's all. That's good. That's really good, William. We recently had a Jehovah's Witness ask if he was afraid of the way the world was today. My response was, I'm not going to live the life that God gave me in fear. His plan is for us to be happy. And I believe we might face adversity and difficult times today in this life, but eternal life afterwards, I don't think we could comprehend the level of happiness. I can't. That I can only imagine. It's crazy. Solo Gordo, always be aware of your surroundings instead of looking down at your phone. Ugh. That one gets me. Like 90% of people do. I wish in a gas station and a security guard had a P320 as his service weapon. I was in a gas station and I steered clear. That's funny. Oh man. Terrence removed 5 to 6 people for thinking what happened to Charlie K was okay. I always swore I would never get to the point of deleting friends off of Facebook because of political differences, things like that. Because I want to make sure that the content that I'm sharing, because these are people I've known for years. I get, like, when did I get my Facebook? 2008? 2007, I think I did. So these are people from high school, you know, and just people I've grown up with and I just know, and we have a lot of differing opinions, especially around politics and things like that. And it's like, I want to share this content. I want to get that out there. But there's been a handful of people that were just trying to not only justify it, celebrate it, or then say, well, where were you and Melissa Hortman and all this stuff too? And it's like, I'm not at any point in time condemning the death, or I what I'm not doing is celebrating the death of anybody. I mean, some people got it coming to them. Who is that going to be? Well, I remember in 2011 where I was when they got Osama bin Laden. It was May. I was at my combat training for the Marines, and I was in Camp Geiger. And I remember us cheered and we celebrated. Knowing now what I do and how I feel about life and death, I don't think I would have cheered. I could have felt, all right, we got him. Okay. Was he even the culprit? So, that whataboutisms got old for me. Just remove them to clear my head and not give them the attention they were looking for. The whataboutisms are everywhere. What about? What about the kids that died? That one always gets me. That one always gets me because, like, it's terrible. It's evil. And you're right. What about the kids that died? Why aren't you advocating for more armed guards at your school? Why aren't you advocating for protecting our children like we protect our politicians? Mad Noxutus, was he the culprit? Yeah, probably not. Just like anything these days, we will never truly know. Gerald Bonachita, politics is the main enemy of the Bill of Rights. Those that claim they are the same as amendments are wrong. The Bill of Rights were God-given rights, not meant to be taken or amended. It's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs, not the Bill of Rights that could be temporarily suspended in the name or the sake of security. Lenny Stubbs, there are armed guards at banks. We should value our children like we value our money. Stay safe out there, guys. Keep your head on a swivel. How do we prepare and survive civil unrest? How do we prepare for? As I've talked about before, just earlier, there's products. There's products that you can buy. There's things that you can do to get as prepared as possible. But I'll say again, what I think one of the most important things is having a community that you can rely on, that you can build yourself into. Something I know I got to work on too. I've got like friends that I'm growing into this area and stuff like that. Again, finding like-minded people. Why do they need to be like-minded? I think we can all answer that question. It's getting very, very difficult to have that dialogue with the other side. I consider myself pretty conservative, to say lightly. I stand on pretty firm beliefs that Jesus Christ died for our sins, that abortion is wrong, that on occasion, capital punishment is right. I believe that you're absolutely right. The Bill of Rights are there. Affirmed in our Constitution, not granted. They are a limitation on government. And saying those things I just said are similar beliefs as to what Charlie Kirk died for. I'm not afraid to say it, though. I will put that out here. I will put that out there next time I'm on stage somewhere, as I did just a couple weeks ago in Knoxville, Tennessee at Goals. If they peg me to do the emceeing again in Des Moines, Iowa, you're damn right. I will be speaking very firmly about those beliefs and about how I still believe that we've got a great nation here, but it is slipping. And it's been dividing, splitting. So wake up, guys. I know most of you here are already awake. I know most of you guys here. I'm probably preaching to the choir too. But that's okay. Because I don't want any of you who think like me to feel as if you're alone. Especially in a world where social media is so heavily favoring the opposing thoughts, the opposing ideas, the opposing opinions. And I think seeing Charlie's memorial today should show you that there are hundreds of thousands, just that you witnessed today, that have similar views, that aren't afraid to go public and stand for those beliefs. Just being present at his memorial speaks about your beliefs, I think. And I said in my 100K thank you video here on YouTube that now is the time more than ever for any and all of you that feel like maybe I've got this thing I want to say. Make that post and publish it. Record yourself. It's really not that hard. Record yourself on video, do a quick little edit, upload it, make it public, let it be viewable to all. And who cares if you only get 1 to 2 views? That's 1 more or 2 more people that heard your message that maybe wouldn't have before. Maybe that spreads. It's not difficult. Just find yourself a camera and press record and just talk to it and edit out the parts you don't like. It's not that difficult. Pick up that microphone. We got to speak. We got to speak more now than ever. It's been a heavy week and a half, you know. I've been prepared, thinking about what do we do if any of that civil unrest finds its way out to where I am. What about to where my loved ones are? Do I go and get them? probably not the smart thing to do. Smart thing to do is, well, get out of the city, come here to me. I've got tents, if I don't have room for everybody, we'll figure it out. I got tents. You can camp out in the yard, make room in the garage for my loved ones. And guys, when I say evil exists, I haven't looked too much in it, but in Nashua, here in New Hampshire, safest state in the union, last night at a wedding, somebody shot and killed. He opened fire at a wedding event. I haven't looked too much into it. I don't know what more is there to say, but it was reported that he was shouting "Free Palestine" right before the bride and groom were to start their first dance. And shot and killed one of the guests there. I don't know whose wedding it was. I don't know if they have any, Jewish relation or anything like that as to why this guy targeted them. I have no idea. But to think that somebody would just come in and start shooting, never mind what they're saying, but just start shooting at a wedding. And we're not talking like a celebratory wedding or celebratory like we've seen those like Middle East videos, people just sending off rounds every which direction, like, all right, that's pretty wild, And of course we see all of the screw up videos where somebody handles an AK for the first time, like a real AK, and they don't expect the full auto recoil and how it's going to, and how they respond is they drop the gun or whatever else and it bullets, whatever. No, this was somebody intended to kill at a wedding an hour away from me. It's like, dude, why? What is going on? September 10th, the day Charlie Kirk died, there was another school shooting out in Colorado. Guys, it's the worst part is knowing that it's only going to get worse before it gets better. How do I know that? Because we're already at the flashpoint. We're already at this boiling point. Society has fallen so far. Respect for one another, respect for our neighbor, respect for just having any decency has gone so far. And both sides have gotten to a point where they believe that they're so right that they can't have a dialogue. One side, let's just be honest here. The right side is still trying to have that dialogue. Even after you killed the man that became the face for open discussion and dialogue and debate with those that think differently than you. The other side, though they're trying not to admit it whatsoever, killed him for it. The other side reveled. Were overcome with joy. Celebrated the moment he got shot. That guy jumped in front of the camera cheering. You're right. Whoever asked that earlier. How do you exist? How do you coexist with these people? People like that are broken. Plain and simple. Can they be fixed? I don't know. I think everybody's different. I think some people, I know my opinions, my views change. Like I talked about, would I have cheered and celebrated Osama bin Laden's death like I did in 2011 with a bunch of other Marines? You could imagine. We were all getting ready to go to war. A war in which we were told and believed that this guy started. Then we found out we got him. Oh, shit, they showed us the pictures up on a projector screen. They brought everybody into a classroom. I say a classroom, but it's just more like a shelter on the middle of a field at Camp Geiger, located within Camp Lejeune. And man, it was intense. But like I said, now knowing, I mean, opinions change. I have the right to change opinions. I have the right to change my mind. I don't know if I would have celebrated. I think today, if it would have been presented to me, all right, well, we got him. I think that might be my response at this point. So I believe people can change. I know they can. I know I'm not the person I was last year or 2 years or a month ago. But I truly believe that evil has taken so many of these people's hearts that they won't change. They want you dead for what you think and what you believe. They want your family dead. They've said it. They've recorded themselves and uploaded it on social media. Don't just stop with him. Go after his wife and kids so that way they can't continue his legacy and continue his hatred. This is coming from the same people who actually never watched a full debate by him. They take these little clips and contort it into whatever type of bullshit that fits their narrative. Yes, it can be fixed with Jesus. Jesus can fix anyone. You know, you might be right. I believe that God, you know, he's the Almighty. He's all powerful. He can do that. The problem is, they got to be willing to make that choice themselves. It's free will. They have to accept Jesus. They have to accept their Savior. If they don't, that's on them. We can pray for them, but if they don't change their mind, unless they want to carry out more disgusting, violent acts, I think they're going to find out who the more capable side might be. And I'm not, again, advocating for any type of civil war. I want to stay away from it. I don't want it to happen, not in this country, because do you think it's just going to stay here? You know what I mean by that? You don't think there's going to be outside governments, outside forces trying to... It's happening now. Dirty Civilian was talking about this, and I couldn't agree more. It's been happening for decades. Outside governments trying to exploit different crises, different situations, so that way they fall more in favor with the greatest country in the world. Or we just do more of their bidding, or we just do anything that might favor them, whoever them might be. Talking is over. They murdered the man who just wanted to talk to them. Oh, let's see here. I want to come back just for a minute. Alex, good to see you, dude. I ran into him at Monadnock Firearms. Also, really cool stuff. I want to join you on one of your adventures, by the way. I want to go on one of your Bigfoot hunts, man. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But just tuned in. Hope you're doing good, Clint. My folks live close to where that shooting happened in Nashua. I was near that area last night, very close to home. Streets were blocked off. Awful. That's rough, man. William, Clint, you and your family come first. We know that you care about many of us. Thank you for that. And talking to us about our lives as we relate to others. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Jessica Simp, it looks like it's becoming a civil war. I mean, if we're already in it, it's, it's just not all that hot right now. I mean, it's hot right now, but it hasn't flown into the streets just yet. Soros funded the left's insanity, and AIPAC is controlling the right. What do they have in common? They don't want to talk. They just want chaos. Keep praying for peace, but keep your mags loaded just in case. Psalm 144:1. That's the other thing, guys. For the last couple months now, I've been told my entire life by other people and their interpretations of the Bible. So I've taken it upon myself. I need to read it. I actually dive into it, read it myself. Not just a scripture here, not just a verse there, not just a daily verse. Genesis 1:1, all the way to Revelations, the apocalypse. And right now I'm in Leviticus. But anyway, I think it's, this is the other thing. All right. So I think it's Psalm 144. It's going to take me a minute. So I open right up to the book of Psalms. It's not even bookmarked. Just throwing that out there. All right. Okay. Well, here's your sign. Continue doing what you're doing. Got it. I bring it up because it's about keep praying for peace, but keep your mags loaded just in case. And if I'm remembering it correctly, Psalm 144, blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle. And I mess it up. Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle, my rock and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I take refuge. Oh, who subdues the peoples under him. Yeah. I like that one. If you say you hate America, you need to use one of the 4X's and go elsewhere. It is funny how many people will talk about how their hatred for this country and those that live in it and blah, 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 blah. And then they still live here. I mean, as a citizen of the world, most countries, I probably shouldn't say most. I actually probably should not say most. A lot of countries will allow you to move there peacefully. If I wanted to start farming in South Africa, I'd probably have an issue, But yeah, a lot of other places you could probably go to if you don't really want to be here, right? So there you go. But anyway, Jake is saying he's encouraged by all the goodness and kindness of this group. It's, remember, I can't remember her name. It was a couple of live streams ago. She came on, she was anti-gun. She said that she had an abusive ex-boyfriend. Do you guys remember that? For those of you that were present on that stream, she had an abusive ex-boyfriend who felt the gun empowered him or something like that. And it's like, I can say I'm sorry you went through what you went through. And a lot of us tried talking. Like, I mean, you guys in the chat were having conversation with her. I don't know how like that was so cool to me. And yeah. So keep it up, guys. Keep it up, team. Brag Out Design Studios. Sam, I just started reading it myself, not as far as you though. I isn't a smart apple. I have to reread a lot. I get that. I actually have a really hard time reading because of my ADHD. I can legitimately read an entire paragraph, a page of something, anything, and then my mind would have been completely everywhere. I will remember reading, but not retain anything of which I just read. I just know that I was thinking about something else while I was reading. It sucks. So I totally get you there. But I will tell you, this is the first time I'm reading something and I'm rereading to gain a better understanding, but not because I couldn't retain what I just read. Right? Like it's different. I don't know what it is. Something in my brain is like, hey, you really want to focus on this. And I have started, once I get done with one book, um, in, like my revised standard version, that is this Bible, which if you guys paid attention to my 100K thank you video on YouTube, not the Rumble edit, if you look closely at the silver play button that was on the table here, I noticed it was reflecting a lot of different things. And so I just set my Bible up so it would reflect the Bible. Because why not? But anyway, little Easter egg for you there. All of these puns. And I've also got this one, which is definitely a more difficult read, but a beautiful Bible. It's the Douay Rheims, right? So I'll read one book, then I'll read the other, each Bible, because at the end of it all, I guess by the end of it, will have read the Bible twice, but it's mainly so I have an understanding of what I just read, and I'm not allowing my ADHD to prevent me from retaining, right? And I don't want to take Adderall or anything like that. I went to the doctor and years ago, and they immediately just wanted to put me on Adderall. They gave me like a paper test. They didn't want to do anything else. They're just like, well, we can go and get you started on some Adderall. I'm like, well, don't really want to do that. Like, I just don't, I don't, I don't know what effect that's going to have on me. And I just don't feel like trying that. I've heard good and bad about that drug. I feel like I just rather take, a natural way of trying to deal with this. And so I got into note taking. I try to journal, things like that. So I don't know. Anybody else that, struggles with ADHD, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway. Around here, Kurt says it's kind of like praise the Lord and pass the bullets. Definitely got to be ready. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. For sure. For sure. Yes, I that is true. Reading out loud also helps. Now that I've got the horse and the pony, um, me and the horse have bonded really well. The pony, even though I, carried her from womb to barn, um, she probably doesn't even remember that. But a part of me has thought maybe I'll just sit out there and I'll read my Bible in the mornings, with my cup of coffee, and I'll just read out loud to my horses because maybe if they hear my voice more, they'll get more comfortable and we'll bond more, things like that. And what like a beautiful way to start the day, like, out in nature, hot cup of coffee, Bible, and just, dude, that's like, and it's quiet here, every now and then we get cars on the street passing and stuff like that. Or, a couple of guys got motorcycles down the way, which is always cool to hear anyway. My son loves it. Vroom, vroom, he'll point at them and make that sound with his mouth, vroom, vroom, when they drive by. If any of them are watching, I don't know if they do or not, just, don't be afraid to rev the engine. My son loves it. And, but yeah, what a great way to start the day, man. It's beautiful. And cool. Listening to Darth Vader, James Earl Jones read the Bible to you is amazing. That's hilarious, man. That is so funny. Justin McCormack, I recently given my life to Jesus and was baptized alongside my wife. Jesus is the way. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Congratulations and welcome. Welcome. That's so cool. There are Bibles for younger people that include companion text to give historical context, and modern uses for the language. Unfortunately, I cannot think of a specific edition. That's cool too, though. I like that. That's neat. It's health business and not health care anymore. Yeah, the fact that they just wanted to get me on the drug so fast, it's just like, whew. And that was the other thing. I mean, every doctor we go to pushes these vaccinations on our kids. My kids are proudly unvaxxed. I wish I could say the same about me, but I thought I was going to be retiring out of the Marine Corps. And I'm like, well, this will be smart. If I stay in, and get that retirement. Yeah. Well, what do you think? But anyway, I've heard it's something crazy, like the type of extra money the doctor or the hospital might get for every fully vaccinated child that they can get, something like that. And that's one of the reasons they push them so hard. Again, I don't know the legitimacy of that claim. It's something, again, I read on the internet, so it must be true, right? But it wouldn't surprise me if that was true because of how hard the doctors, just regular checkup, something like that. They're like, okay, well, now they need this, now they need that. Get that fucking needle away from my kid. Like, stop. Just go away. We're done. We're leaving now. Well, you need to sign this, waiver from the state. And it's like, I don't need to sign shit. What, that I'm denying your bullshit that you're trying to put into my kid? You don't need to sign anything. Get the hell out of my face with this. If I never showed up, what are you going to do? Send it to me to sign? No. Get out of here. Go, with your insanity. These needles around my kids. They're the most healthy kids. Most healthy kids I have seen ever. Always running around, playing out in the grass, eating things they found in the grass. No, just kidding. But no, man, it's insane to me. And you're absolutely right. It's a health business. DJ Rick, this unfortunate incident has brought people closer to God. Brought okay. Has brought people closer to God and more open about their faith. It's true. I was never like I mean, I know you guys would hear me all the time, God bless, things like that, and I've vocalized my, Catholicism, things like that. I'm not like the best Catholic ever. Um, but I don't get to church on Sundays and I really should, but it's one of those things where it's like I believe, I'll watch mass, live streamed, things like that. But now, yeah, dude, you're right. It's wonderful. It is that silver lining, I think, in death. Charlie has brought more people to be vocal about their faith and has brought more people to Christ. I assume than he did while he was alive. And I think he did a lot while he was alive. To be considered, because I saw this like a Cardinal, I forgot his name now. I forgot his name, out of New York, I think. But there's a cardinal that has actually advocated for the canonization of Charlie Kirk, which means making Charlie a non-Catholic saint. And in the Catholic Church, to be qualified for sainthood, you have to have, there's like a list of prerequisites, one of which is you have to perform 2 miracles. And they can be, either before or after death. It doesn't matter. But just 2 miracles. I would say that it is rather miraculous that the death, the martyrdom of Charlie, the awakening that it's caused for people to pronounce, for people to be vocal about it, like I am right now. Like you guys, like, let's be real. Like, I can be honest enough to say, like, the most you would probably hear me get kind of like this preachy, pun intended, would be, yes, I proclaim that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and God bless at the end of my videos or at the end of my live stream. God bless this country, things like that. I probably wouldn't have pulled out a Bible and quoted it like I did tonight. I can admit that. So I would say that's at least one miracle that would qualify him for sainthood. But yeah, wild times we're living in, guys. You know. You're saying vax quotas are true? That's wild, man. That's wild. They shouldn't be. Like I said, just get away. Just don't get those needles away from them. Yeah. Brian, I'm not too sure what video that is. Sam Hyde's "This Is You" video. I'll have to get back to you on that. You know, it's already almost 11:30, so I'm going to be winding down here in just a moment. Recent reports show unvaxxed kids are healthier than the vaccinated. I don't know these reports. I don't doubt it, personally. I don't doubt it. You know? So I will say that I want to see the reports, and I know RFK, you know, he is very much so anti-vax, you know, pro. I like the fact that he just wants to get back to natural ingredients, organic type stuff, right? Which is so funny to me because if you were to said that pre 2001, you'd be a hippie, right? Like, oh, you just want to grow your own food and and you don't want to vaccinate your kids. Yeah, man, what are you like? You don't trust the government, man? Like it's wild to think about this just shift that we've seen the past, let's just call it 30 years. 10 years. I mean, pre 9/11, a completely different world. Pre COVID, a completely different world. Dare I say, pre the assassination of Charlie Kirk, a different world. It's what is happening? Terrence, first time I took a flu shot in forever and managed to get the flu. Only took it because I was pushed with having a newborn in the house. Haven't had it since, and conveniently no flu in 4 years. Every time I get a flu shot, I get flu-like symptoms. I like it's worse than flu-like symptoms. Like I am bedridden. Thankfully, now that I'm out of the Marines, I never have to do that again. Like it's a prerequisite. Like you have to get like a flu shot. When they were doing like the nasal stuff, they did that for like a year or two. I was like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. That stuff didn't bother me that bad. But then the shots, and I'm like, God, I don't want to get the flu shot. Like I hate the flu shot. Like I don't mind like blood draws, stuff like that. I can see the needle go into the skin. My wife, she'll pass out, right? She's one of those kinds. She's a fainter. Me, whatever, like I can look and be like, okay, this is kind of weird though. Like my lifeblood's leaving my body as I'm pumping this little ball that you put in my hand. And so it's not like I have a problem with shots, but now knowing I do have a problem with shots. Like stop putting shit into my body. Definitely don't put shit into my kids' bodies. Just stop, all right? Like okay, like can we just focus on like food is medicine. Like I'd rather just let's think about the stuff that we're putting in our bodies every single day. Let's think about that because I believe that obesity and the food that we are consuming every single day is probably killing more people, a far amount more people than guns every year. Damn sure, than cars, than anything else. Getting pissed off about food over here, Justin, what's up, man? Good to see you. Justin McCormick. It's actually amazing to see this. I wanted to watch your RXM video. Thank you. And noticed you were streaming. So glad I'm able to join the conversation. I'll have to watch that after the stream. Thanks. Appreciate it, man. And yeah, the RXM, honestly, I'm really impressed by it. I didn't think it was going to be a gun that I was going to like, I'll be honest. I was like, I'll do the review. You know, I'll check it out because it seems cool enough to do a video on, because it's like, hey, for $400 for what the standard RXM is, what, for ballpark it $400. The tactical model, which essentially the same gun but a threaded barrel, $569. And ask me why I remember that, you know. But but I I really like the gun. Like, it's a solid little shooter. The For the price, the fact that you don't have to use any like adapter plates for an optic. It comes optics cut, drilled for the most popular footprints. Decent sight system. You got a tritium front sight, blacked out rear. I would prefer to have tritium and all, but I also understand the tritium front sight, blacked out rear. Like, I get it. I understand why you want to do that. Trigger's fine. It feels like a slightly better than Glock trigger. So that's nothing to write home about, but it's fine. The Magpul grip module that Ruger teamed up with Magpul on, it feels good. I really like that. I'm looking forward to the larger size grip modules when they come out. It's actually a modular gun, so that's cool too. So once the larger grip modules come out, you can just buy that and then take the serialized part out, like the fire control unit, I guess is what it will be called, similar to that of a SIG 320. Um, and anyway, ask me why I laugh. But dropping that into the full size grip, so you can go from like a 19 compact grip to a 17 like full size grip. It's pretty cool. I'm expecting longer barrels, longer slides, maybe even shorter configurations, things like that. I don't know, but yeah, no, it really is an impressive gun. I wish it came with one more magazine. It comes with two Glock mags. I'm sorry, Magpul Glock G15 mags. Um, you guys get what I'm trying to say. Glock 15 round Magpul magazines. Um, if it came with one more, I'd be like, that's cool, because three is usually like, most people, from what I've seen, will carry about 1 to 2, usually about 2 extra pistol mags on their belt or something like that. And so I kind of wish it came with two, but you know, coming with one spare magazine is fine, especially since it's a Glock, standard Glock mag that it can take. Like, I got enough of those lying around. I'm not too mad about it, you know. And it's one of those things where it's like extra mags, especially from Magpul, whatever else. They're affordable. It's not like, you know, 2011 mags or anything like that. That's why I like, you know, Bull Armory. They send you at least 3 or 4 magazines. It's cool. So yeah. Gary, Jeremiah 2911, my friend. Simplify, God bless. Thank you. And same to you. And I'll check out Jeremiah 2911. I know I've got. There you are. Piece of paper. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Something important? Oh no. It's a bill of sale for a bunch of hay. Anyway, Jeremiah 2911 is what you said. I'll check it out. But anyway, thank you, man. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Dilligaff, good to see you, dude. Never got a flu shot, never had the flu, never got the C19 shot, never got C19. I got COVID-19 one time. That I got COVID. That and I will say that sucked. That really did suck. It put me out, man. Yeah, the craziest thing was not being able to smell. You know, that was the wildest thing for me. Don't recommend. But I was fine in about 2 days. 2 or 3 days. Yeah. So it was fine. But I was on the couch not doing good during that time. Brian Andrews, I've warned my family 1 year in advance to not take the COVID shot thanks to Alex Jones and his constant warning of the sociopath Bill Gates and his psycho population control worldview. Yeah, crazy how a guy that just you know, made some operating system, became this like Lex Luthor nerd evil guy. I don't know, man. Like, what the hell? Everybody used to like kind of like Bill Gates. Oh yeah, man, that's the story right there, you know? Come like the most rich man in the world after starting in your basement or something. I don't know his full story, but now it's just like, dude, this guy, wow, you know, lived long enough to become the villain, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Bill Gates is weird. Justin, I had a horrible pneumonia and was hospitalized for 7 days. Uh, this was during COVID. My doctors basically told me I need the vax or else I would die if I got COVID. Don't know if that was the best choice. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I never shared this publicly, but after I got the second shot of Pfizer, um, I wrote a um, if I die note on my phone because I legitimately thought I was going to die. I was in so much pain. I got myocarditis, the inflammation of the heart, um, literally 12 hours after the shot. That I was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because I was getting ready to do a shoot with Alex Zedra. We were doing the Danny Defense Mark 8, the Mark 12 giveaway video for Classic, and that's what I was down there for. My buddy Scott and Ryan were there, and they can attest to this. Ryan, the videographer from Classic, I legitimately wrote out a note. I was in the most uncomfortable and pain I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm like, do I go to the hospital? I don't know. The hospital did this to me. I don't want to go to the hospital. Like, what do I do? I have no trust in anything or anyone right now. I feel like I'm dying. So I wrote out a note on my phone and to my loved ones, and I legitimately prepared for death. I prayed, and I talked with those guys. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to drink some water. Everything hurts, like, but right here, my heart, it felt like I I can't even say explode. I just I can't explain. The only thing I could think of is the amount of pressure that I felt. It felt like Alien. Like one of those little bastards was about to pop out of my chest and start dancing on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like it was insane. So yeah, that was a regret. Regret doing that 110%. And yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Last shot I got was a booster for tetanus, mainly because I work with metal in a machine shop. Left arm shoulder was dead for 3 days after that bitch. Yeah, tetanus shots suck. That was also a mandatory one that the Marines made us get all the time. Every trigger is slightly better than a Glock trigger. Oh, yeah, talking about the RXM? Yeah. Except for a Taurus. That's funny. Yeah, I don't have time to get sick. I don't anymore, dude. I mean, I got, you know, I I'm right now I'm putting in a fence. I'm installing a bunch of T-posts to put in an electric fence so that way I could turn out the horses in some pasture so that way they're not just cooped up in a round pin all day. So I'm building a fence. While I was building the fence, I decided, okay, now's a good time to go put some fresh water in for the birds. So I cracked the door to the coop and was feeding up or filling up their tub full of water in there that the chickens and the ducks all eat out of. And those little bastards decided to push the door open and all got out. So they're just out in my yard. They're grazing. They were cool. I'm like, okay, but the ducks have never been out. I'm like, well, I don't know how this is going to go. It actually went pleasantly well. It only took me about 15 minutes to get everybody back into the coop. So that took a little bit longer than I wanted. And then it was building out the two stall shed, essentially, is where the horse and the pony are staying. And yeah, that was a lot today. Oh man, and all that was just before having my friends come over for for a late lunch, early dinner, and then doing the live stream tonight, man. I feel you, bro. Like, I don't got time to get sick, man. I don't got time for things, you know? So I feel you, Tanner, man. I feel you. I've just been impressed with Taurus lately. The triggers, not so much, but the overall build quality has improved drastically over the past few years. I believe it. I know that. I've had some friends in the firearm industry get kind of picked up by Taurus, and I'm like, what are they doing? What are they working on? They took a friend of mine from SIG, which, you know, good for him at this point. And I was like, wow, Taurus, really? He goes, I know. He's like, but they made a pretty incredible offer. And I'm like, that's okay, good. He's like, yeah, they're working on some pretty cool stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever you say, man. And yeah, so yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that Taurus is doing good because a lot of people will turn to them because they are affordable, you know. So I hope they're putting out a quality product. You know, I shot the Taurus G2C quite a bit, never had any issues with it. You know, I didn't think it was like a great gun or anything, but you know, I felt that it was fine, you know. So yeah, there you go. Let's see here really quick. I want to make sure that I didn't miss any super chats, which I did from the Cajun Cheesehead. AR-15 is America's rifle. You're absolutely right. I've done a couple of videos talking about that, why it's considered, why it is America's rifle. And Gary, thank you for the super chat, super sticker. Thank you. Just thank you. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, have you heard of? Are you talking to me? What I do that? What I show my hair that I'm not gonna cut now that I'm out of the Marines? And you're like, have you heard of Just for Men? All right, just because I was curious, I did try it on my beard a couple weeks ago, and you know I was like, all right, and then it left like this black like paint on my face, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that again because I guess I got to scrub really hard to get it off the skin. But then I'm like, but am I not just scrubbing it off the beard? So whatever. I guess I'm just gonna drink water and eat more meat and leave it at that. But I was kind of curious, and I was like, is this stuff like, you know, I don't want to, you know, like I'm only 34. You know, I started getting gray hairs when I was like 28, 27. I think I noticed my first gray. And I was like, I'm already graying, but my hair's thick, thankfully. Like if you were to see my grandfather, I mean, he had white hair, but man, he had a lot of it, and he was thick hair and everything, you know. So thankfully, I got my grandfather's hair. So it shouldn't be going anywhere, thankfully. It'll just be changing color, which, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. My wife says I look handsome, so you know that's good. That's good. My mom says I look nice. So Taurus, good quality for sub $300. I've drawn on a bunch of Taurus. I like them. Good, good, good. Oh, already talked that one. Got that one. My wife got the G2C in teal because colors make it better. You want to hear a funny story? I got my wife the limited Beretta 380 teal because she said she wanted a teal 380 because she likes how they shoot and they feel good, you know, to her. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I got her the nicest one I could find. It looks like it even comes. I had it down here for a minute, but I think she's got it upstairs now. It even comes like, and it looks like a Tiffany box, right? Like it was beautiful. This teal, whatever. You open it up, beautifully displayed. Comes with one extra magazine. Should have come with two for that price for a 380, but you know, whatever. And she says, "Oh, I just ordered a gun for myself." Like, what'd you get? Said, I got a Till Walther 380. Like, why did you do that? Because I've been wanting one and I saw it online and I thought I'd like it. I'm not mad about it. Okay. Except now we have two Till 380s. And what do we need two Till 380s for? Oh, you know, um, she was texting my friend Jade Struck, and she thought that was the funniest damn thing during that time. Because actually, no, she was on the phone. She was on the phone with her because I think we are talking about doing some shoots together, and she's just like, "That is actually hilarious." You guys are so cute. Yeah, thanks, thanks. Oh man, good to see you again, Jessica Simp. Speaking of healthcare, actually health business, it's not just the vax being the enemy, but also doing frequent labs for a certain time frame. Interesting. Jared, our gun rights is why no other country would ever attack us by land. They will try to do anything and everything else, especially through propaganda, especially through misinformation, to try to divide us further. They could actually use our own rights against us if we're not careful. And it's already happening. So here we are. Go opposite, shave head, grow beard. Dude, I've got a lopsided head, man. And I'll be honest with you, I stress like scratch and pick, and so it probably looks a little beat up right now. So I think I'm just gonna keep all the hair. All right. So there you go. Gary, he's got the West Coast Marine hair going. That's funny. Damian Christian, you're in those gray hairs. Clint, be proud of them. I did, dude. I did. Thank you. Oh man, Clint, I sent you the story about the untaxed VR versus unvaxxed to X page from Nicholas. I'll check it out. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Brill cream, little dab will do you. Shit, I'm 35 this coming Friday, getting old. Oh man, yeah, you are, you old bitch. Oh man, it's all right, Tanner. It's okay. 35 still young, depending on when you die. Um, just made it to 34 on the 9th of September. Well, congratulations, man. Happy birthday. William. Oh, and happy early birthday. I'm over here making fun of you, but happy early birthday, Tanner. That's what happens, man. If you don't like somebody, you won't mess with them. You know what I mean? Oh, goodness gracious. We all start of bald and in diapers. That's the way we end up. That's funny. Well, I've stole my SIG 365 AXG Legion for me to carry. That's a great carry gun too. I do like my 365 AXG Legion for sure. All right, Maybach, Maybach riding. Hello, Maybach, 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 my back hurts. Hey Clint, just saw you were live. I've kind of been copying your Colt AR build instead of the Geisley SDE. What about the LaRue MBT2S? What do you think? Nice. Yeah, Colt. I actually sold that gun not too long ago. Well, I didn't really sell it. I gave it to the shop, and actually somebody a viewer bought it, believe it or not. But I I really want to get my hands on the LaRue MBT2S. I think that's a solid platform there. Purse gun and other purse gun, 2 till 380s. You know, I often say one is none, so yep, that came back and got me. All right. Got the Luke Grimes. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that because that makes me happy because I'm pretty sure my wife's got like this crush on Luke Grimes, all right? So, for you to say that, awesome. I need to screenshot that and yeah, just where we're at, 2 hours and 14 minutes. I'm going to tell her to go to this exact timestamp for that comment. That right there. Tattooed Mexican, good to see you, man. But here's the deal with anti 2A. Okay? If shit hits the fan for reals and beyond fixing, every person on the left, Gen Z, millennials will be unarmed and knocking on Gen X and Pro 2A's doors, begging for us to defend them. It depends on the situation. If it's in, like, if America's being invaded from an outside entity, I could see that maybe happening. Oh, I really don't agree with you, but I could definitely use your help right now. If America is in shambles and it's a civil war, I could see them trying to ambush, home invade to try to acquire what I have. I don't see them trying to ally themselves or in any type of way. I don't see that happening. But you could very well be right also. You could be. I just don't see that. Yes, they will, especially with the two-tier justice system. Solo Gordo, thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lord, thank you for daily mercy and grace on us. I pray for protection and wisdom for us. Be our strength when we are weak. Help us to draw closer to you, Lord. Thank you for Clint. Let your light shine through to him. Amen. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Captain on Twitch, always good to see you too, man. Thank you, Solo. That really did mean a lot. Thank you. Are you going to get back to bust your builds again? I will. I've just been kind of taking it easy on YouTube for a bit, with that, because they really hated that. And I think that's why I got, kind of some, I'm not gonna say backlash, but just like some throttling on YouTube at that point. But what can you do? Jack, yes, I will, especially. Oh, I already read that one. My bad. Brian, can you do an interview with CW Lemoyne in the future? Is that how you pronounce that? Like Lemoyne, like Lemoyne, Red Dead Redemption 2? He's a former F-16 pilot. He's a cool dude. Definitely check him out. I will. Another note to make. CW. Thank you. All right. For a second, I thought I was going to like not be in focus anymore, and I was about to be kind of upset about that. Lemoyne. Check that out. Fighter pilots are cool, man. Planes are cool. I'm a huge plane guy. My wife and I were just talking about maybe getting a plane. I don't know where she thinks this money is going to come from, but whatever. Before he died, my dad was building an airplane. He was working on a Zen Air. At that point in time, it was called a 701. They've changed the designation to 750 now. And that would be the plane I would like to finish building. All those airplane parts, though, I don't know where they're at. Because he had a vertical stabilizer, he had a rudder, he had ailerons, flaps, just hanging out in the living room. I mean, how cool is that, right? Like, that's awesome. And the Zenith aircraft are really cool, short takeoff and landing, like under 60 feet takeoff and land. Like I could do that in my backyard. That would be awesome. And I'm a huge plane guy. I love planes. My wife got me my Breitling watch. You guys know I wear it often. And that's like a classic aviator design. And man, I've always loved flying ever since I was a kid. And my dad being a pilot and built several airplanes. He had a Kit Fox that he crashed and survived. Thank goodness. He built a T-51 out of wood, with the wood framing on the fuselage and everything else. And the T-51 was the trainer, smaller P-51, so that was pretty cool. And, the Mustang, the iconic P-51. But yeah. So yeah, I was wondering why, the ADHD and the tiredness kicked in, because I was like, why am I talking about airplanes again? And then I remembered F-16 pilot. Got it. Yeah, that would actually be a really cool conversation. Guys, I'm going to wind it down now. All right. I'm going to wind it down because I'm forgetting even what I'm talking about at this point. And I really just want to I wanted to keep the theme of like civil unrest, being prepared. And I think one of the biggest things you can do, again, is, as I will often and almost every time talk about, is get involved with your community. Get involved with your community. Get involved with your local politics. Because, the elections of your local politics will directly affect your everyday life. Because it can go through local taxes, things like that. Like, hey, what should we spend more money on? A new park or repaving these broken roads? That's actually a difficult one. It's kind of like, the roads I could drive on. I wouldn't mind a new park for the kids to go play at or something. You know what I mean? But then there's maintenance to said new park. Right? There's these things to get involved with, right? Because those can turn into local statutes about firearms as well. So don't let that get away from you. Get involved with your local politics. If you're only voting in the presidential election and you're not taking a look at the midterms or anything like that, you're wrong. I still believe that voting means something. I think it's all a game. I really do. Kind of like it doesn't matter who you vote for. But there's some people that I do respect that I've met personally that, you know what, I'm going to cast my ballot for. Thomas Massey, being one that I would love to be able to vote for. I was actually able to vote for Lily Tang Williams here in New Hampshire. That was cool. Unfortunately, she didn't win, but she's the one that stood up to David Hogg and said, "Can you guarantee to me that, our government will not turn tyrannical?" And David said, "No, I cannot guarantee that." And she said, "Well, your gun argument is over. Like, that's it." She came from a tyrannical government. She came from that communism, everything, so get involved with your community. Yeah. Let me see. Let me get caught up with the last couple of chats here. And Bust Your Builds belongs on Rumble. Mark, I think you're right, man. I think that could be part of, because I'm wanting to do, I got to find the timing right for it and everything, but 2 live streams a week. One live stream just like this, all platforms, and then like a dedicated Rumble, Twitter, and Twitch. Twitch is pretty cool with it too. So dedicated Twitter, Twitch, and I'll even throw Facebook up there, but I'll just leave YouTube off. So an anti-YouTube live stream, we'll just call it that, where I can actually handle firearms. A pro freedom live stream in both your First and Second Amendment, where you can actually handle a firearm. I can show you what I'm exactly talking about, and I can help educate everybody. Because YouTube, for whatever reason, thinks that if you handle a firearm, you're automatically unsafe. And it's like, how about you take those of us that are licensed instructors, certified licensed instructors, those of us that I guess I could say proven ourselves to be, decent at handling our firearms safely. Like, dude, just let us go about our lives. And yeah. Yeah, solid. Yeah, right. You called me a nut job for preparing for turmoil. Now you want my help. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? My favorite AR is now the M16A2 type. We know, Jessica Simp. Oh my god, y'all crack me up, man. Y'all crack me up. Get the MVGs first so you can fly at night. That's where it's at there. Oh man, Jay, what's up, dude? I can say that now. I don't have to call you sir, Chief Warrant Officer. Wait, are you a chief or are you did you I don't remember. Forgive me, man. Did you pick up chief or are you on your way to chief? I cannot remember for the life of me. Also, sir, it's like past your bedtime. What are you doing? Um, that's right. I don't have to call you sir anymore. I'm not in. I'm officially veteran status, right? Jay and I, man, we grew up in the Marines together, essentially. I can't remember when you joined, but yes, Chief, he texted me. It's funny. Congratulations, man. I couldn't remember for the life of me. Congratulations, dude. But no, we joined, let's see, I can't remember what year you joined. 13 or 14. I came in 2011, and yeah, Jay's good people. Smart when it comes to ammo too. So us ammo techs, man, I tell you, we all stick together here. Oh man, 12. You came in 2012, just a year after I did. Nice. Thank you, man. I'm glad you're here, dude. That's two Marines now. You remember Snipes? He was on the stream earlier. Yep. Or just chatted in and said hey. So, but yeah, good to see you. Thanks, man, for tuning in. Means a lot, bro. Dan Salazar, Gun Clean and Talk Weekly. That is fun. You know, when I did my one of you guys commented on my AR series, you know, how to clean your gun. I mean, it's in like an hour-long video of me just cleaning one of my guns. And somebody was like, this is like the Bob Ross of the gun world, you know, just talking and cleaning and, you know, just taking it easy. So, you know. Jay said, hey, Snipes, it is way past my bedtime. Good work, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Stay safe out there, man. Tell old G Vegas and everybody else said, hey, down there at Det 1. Let's see here. Brendan Herrera, Texas District 23. Do not forget, guys. He's doing it again. He announced it at Goals that he's running for Congress again against the establishment. So there we go. 5 to 7 a.m. Central Time works perfect for me. Whatever you say, dude. Oh, man. Oh, man. Rumble your rifles. You think Twitch frowns upon handling firearms? Well, they can be left off then. Whatever. All right. Last one. Maybach riding. How's that PSA Mark 12 been? Would you recommend it? I got it behind me here, and honestly, it's coming with the PRI accessories. It feels good. You know, you can tell they kind of like they cheaped out like maybe on the A2 stock. But everything else, the trigger, it's good. It's really good. Just slightly different. Like I don't really know how to explain it. I'll do a video on it. I'll do a video on the PSA Mark 12. Does it stand up, right? To the others. And I think I'm getting another Mark 12 because I've already told you guys it is my favorite AR-15 platform. That's what I talked about in my what is my favorite AR-15. I love the Mark 12. It is such a fun gun. And I think I'm getting another one because why not? Not a PRI though. I do want to get a dedicated PRI complete Mark 12. So that'll be one that I'm working on. The other one I'm looking at getting is a DSA. They obviously focus on FALs, but looks like they came out with their own Mark 12 for a while, then they don't, and now I might be getting one built. So I'm excited. Excited to see how it performs. You know, I'll give you the specs and the details on that once I get it in hand. But yeah, for the price point, it really is. I mean, it's already coming, you know, with the Allen Engineering mount for the AEM5 or the Ops Inc. Silencer, or why am I forgetting their name? Otter Creek Labs, the OCM5. So the barrel seems good on it. PRI tube, you know, the 4N and rail. Honestly, I'd say go for it. It's a pretty solid setup. It looks good, and it has shot really well so far. So, and Captain says Twitch doesn't care if you handle guns. They do care if you do, or they care if you do something stupid while handling them. Fair enough. Cool. Well, Twitch can stay on the list then. And Creighton, free Ian Freeman. Bitcoin is not a crime. I'm not certain to what that's in reference to, so that's going to be another one I'm going to have to look up to try to educate myself on. All right. Guys, let's wrap it up there. Let's call it a night. I'm tired. Only like 3K. Sweet TSA dildo. Yeah. Love Mark 12s, man. They're so fun. But the PSA one, you can get yourself a Mark 12 balling on a budget. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, dude. PSA, I honestly like the guys over there. They do cool stuff. They listen to the people, and you know, I don't know. Still get, I get, honestly mixed reviews. But a part of me wonders how much of it is just hate versus people that have actually had experience with their product. I can understand why a lot of like local shops can be, do I dare just say like anti-PSA? Because it's kind of like, your local hardware store having to compete against Lowe's and Home Depot, or your local general store having to compete against Walmart, right? Like I totally get that. Absolutely. And I'm 110% all about supporting local business. So yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that video will be coming soon. I'll work on that one soon. I think the next one's probably going to be like a review of my Henry 1860, the new original. Yeah, I love that gun. That is such a freaking cool gun. And yeah. All right. Terrence, thank you. Jessica Simp, you go do your thing, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you as well, man. Solo, good night, everyone. God bless us. And God bless the USA. Absolutely. Gary asked for more Henry reviews. Got to do the hush. Yes, for sure. Big shout out to Henry, too. They're a big supporter of the channel. And so thank you, Henry. Hold Up Displays. Monadnock Firearms. Man. GOA. Thank you. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. And thanks, Cowboy Clint. Got his horse. Yep. I mean, if I was being completely honest, I would definitely have like legitimate night vision goggles and probably not a horse. But since my wife is my wife, we know how that conversation went. So, yeah, that's on that note, good night. God bless you guys. Y'all have a good one. And we will see you next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.